Hey everybody, Stu Smith here going live. I hope you guys are well. Just got through doing a great workout with the 800 kids of summer seminar at the Naval Academy. That's always a good time. Then followed it up with another run and a little PT to top off a couple hours worth of working out. So I am done, which is good. So now I'm just going to take some questions, give some answers. We'll do a few CSS critiques as well, and we'll follow it up, or we'll start it up while people get on board by just discussing a few things that I'm working on this week. Working on an article about never quit mindset, no excuses mindset. A lot of that has to do with people just giving bad advice. Um, so bad advice that it's almost paradoxical. And what I mean by that is, for instance, you're too skinny to lift weights, or you're don't get in the water until you know how to swim. You get a lot of advice out there. I hear a lot of advice from people who have never even served in the military, given spec ops advice, about the job, and all they're doing really is spreading rumors. So I've even answered a few rumor control comments in articles. In fact, you can Google rumor control Stu Smith, and you'll see some doozies there about some of the things that people get said that are completely untrue. Some of them might be partially true, but not all of them. So anyway, I got this idea about what's your excuse. You got to build habits that are excuse proof, meaning that through consistency and regular training, that you have now built the habit that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have no equipment. It doesn't matter if you have a full gym at your disposal. It doesn't matter if it's raining outside, or it's hot, or it's cold, or it's snowing. You're going to get something done because that's what you do. Um, I love that kind of mentality. I work out 6 days a week. One of them's an easy day. 5 of them are good, moderate to tough days. Not all of them are super tough. Otherwise, you just fall apart. But we do it rain or shine, outdoors, year round, and it makes you tough. It really does. Um, Something I really enjoy anyway. So when excuses tend to hit the hardest, typically, and I want you to just be aware, it's when you're starting in the process of building new habits and maybe breaking some bad habits. That's a real critical time in the process of training and building up and progressing into your training. It's getting over that hump of, I used to sleep in every day till 9 a.m., but now I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and I'm going to work out, for an hour. Right? That's that habit of sleeping in that you have to break, that habit of starting a new workout, earlier food, you know, getting ready to go do something, figuring all that out. That's a moment where it's very comfortable in your bed before 6 a.m. And that's when your mind starts talking to you, and that's when you got to turn it off. And when you go work out, even when you don't feel like it, that's kind of the magic moment where it's working. Some of my favorite workouts actually are the ones where I just felt like staying in bed. Not necessarily tired from training or needing more sleep, just lazy. It happens. It happens to everybody. That little guy in the back of your head wants you to be comfortable. And if you can say this, at that moment, like, you know what? I'm going to go work out right now just because I don't feel like working out right now. That's a powerful moment in your training progression because you've now taken it to another level of, yeah, you're motivated some days you're not motivated, but you can rely on your habits. You can rely on those habits becoming discipline. And if you do it long enough, that discipline starts turning into mental toughness. So it's a nice little journey that you can go on, but it doesn't happen without consistency. And you don't need a motivational video to get you to do it. You don't need a poster. You don't need whatever. Those are great. I had a poster of the Naval Academy in my bedroom, and I had Marines, and I had SEALs, and I had F-14s, and I had all this stuff in there that I wanted to do. But that, looking at that sometimes got me up, but the habit and the discipline, once that gets you all out of the covers and starting your training, that's a good one. Another one too is have an audio tape of you talking to yourself and play that as your alarm. Something like, "Hey, get your butt up out of bed and go train." All right, it's you talking to yourself. That's your alarm. You play that. It takes you back to that moment when you were like pissed off at yourself because maybe you missed a workout and you put that audio recording saved onto your phone or whatever. And it takes you back to that moment, and you can kind of get back in that zone and get out of bed and go do something. So you'll always feel better if you go work out anyway versus skipping it and feeling guilty all day. So that's my 2 cents on the no excuses mindset. And that's a little article I'm working on today. And so all those little buzzwords in there is what I'm going to talk about in that article. Also wrote another article about test taking tips to crush basic testing to Spec Ops level testing. You guys check that out. It's at StuSmithFitness.com. It's the top article if you go to the articles link. In fact, I'll put it in here in the comments section if you wanted to check it out. Drew, you had the first question up here. Could someone work on getting through buds while in depth after crushing the PST? If not, what's the pre-boot camp strategy? Yeah, you should be. You should be well past PST training whenever you dep in. Like if you have to train for the PST during your delayed entry program process, you're already behind the power curve. So, if you can spend your time in delayed entry program focusing on longer runs, longer swims with scuba fins, rucking, if you can find a beach, get on some sand. If you can't find a beach with sand, get on some hills, run those things, get better at running, really good at running, at least a 7-minute mile for your 4-mile timed runs and longer. Yeah, practice treading. That's a good one as well. So yeah, there's plenty of things that you can work on during DEP, delayed entry program. Now, you're not going to find a recruiter nowadays that's going to help you with that. Their job is just to test you in the PST and get you to join the Navy. They don't care if you make it through buds or not. They just want you in the Navy. So you got to do a lot of this stuff preparation wise on your own. So that's my pre-boot camp strategy. And then while you're at boot camp, do the best you can to just work out, even if it's just 30 minutes before you wake up or before everybody wakes up, to go do something a little extra, leg days, do a lot of lunges. Anytime you get an opportunity, just be lunging and squats. Upper body days, just spread push-ups through the day, do some sit-ups and flutter kicks. All those little things are going to help you. You're not going to run a lot at Navy boot camp, so you're going to have to keep working the legs as best you can with some high repetition calisthenics. There were some guys that were saying that they actually got better at running just because they went into it really burned out from running. They had a little deload and they recovered well, and they just worked lunges and flutter kicks, and they were still able to maintain their 1.5-mile pace. Some even got better, 8-10 weeks later when they had to take the PST. So that's what I would do. To and through. There's 2 phases of this. Phase 1 is getting to the training by crushing a fitness test. Phase 2 is getting through the training by focusing on all the specific elements that you're about to be tested in for at least 6 months if you're going SEAL training. Understand what those are. What would you recommend learning to swim on weak side of the CSS? I'm very bad at it right now, and I'm interested in SWIC. My recommendation is just make half of your swims weak side swims. But I wouldn't start practicing weak side until you have actually mastered the strong side. So once you master the strong side, then it's a lot easier mirror image transfer over to your weak side. Then you need to practice 2 ways. You need to practice it with fins, and you need to practice it without fins. Probably not that much. You can stay on your strong side for most of that 500 if you want. But every now and then you might get an instructor that challenges you to face him the entire time you swim 500 yards in a 25-yard pool. So every length you have to change sides to be facing the instructor. Sometimes that's a rule. It's not necessarily a rule that is universal, but you may see an instructor along your journey that requires you to do that. I mean, you may also see one that requires you not to do breaststroke pullouts, or you can't wear goggles. You have to wear a mask, or you can't wear a mask. You got to do it with nothing. There's a whole lot of arbitrary rules that they throw at you just to see how you handle them, mainly. This is the video I need from Madrid. All right. Best regards. Thanks. Jose. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys check out that that article, I'll have it up on Stu Smith Fitness today. Get something out of it. Let's see. What's this? So many things in SEALs and Recon, like underwater swim, rucksack, etc., are only done once. Yeah. I mean, you will do a lot of rucksack runs. Maybe you only do one real long one, but you'll do several of those. Underwater swims, yeah, you'll just do a 50-meter underwater swim once, never do it again. But you'll do some breath holds. You'll do some breath holds with underwater knot tying. There'll be some holding your breath a little bit while you're doing scuba diving, pool comp, OC8 they call it. So you definitely will want to just stay in shape and be ready for those things. What do you think about almost daily high repetition calisthenics such as Herschel Walker, Mike Tyson? I don't recommend it. Those guys are freaks of nature, and high repetition calisthenics will eventually do one of 2 things. You will start seeing negative results, or you'll start seeing joint issues in the form of tendonitis, because that's what, if you're doing 1,000 push-ups a day, yeah, your body can handle it for a while. And while you're young, you could probably even recover from it from day to day for a little while. But eventually, you'll start breaking. Just like guys that run 70 miles a week. Runners get injured every year because a lot of them just run too much. And that's all relative too. Like high repetition calisthenics numbers are relative, right? I do 100 pull-ups at least every upper body day that I have. So I'll probably do 3 upper body days a week. I'll get 100 to 150 pull-ups in a workout. There are some people that, that would probably give them rhabdo if they even tried it. So all this stuff is relative. When you say high repetition calisthenics, I don't recommend doing it like Herschel Walker or Mike Tyson. They are freaks of nature and world-class athletes. And most likely you are not. And when I say you, I don't mean you personally, Pierre Michael. I mean you plural. You know, you don't need to be a world-class athlete to do these jobs. You just need to be in really good shape. JW, my daughter was at your Naval Academy Summer Seminar Pep morning this workout this morning. Thanks for tiring her out. Oh yeah, I'm sure she did well. We did death by push-ups. That's always a classic. So it's a 10-minute plank every minute on the minute, 10 push-ups. And that's a good challenge. It's a mental hurdle. A lot of people, and my goal is just try to motivate them to, gut through it and don't go to their knees. I let them go to the up push-up position, shake out an arm, go to side plank, shake out an arm, but you just stay in that plank position and crank out push-ups every minute on the minute. It's a good challenge. A lot of fun. I think probably the last 5 years I've been doing the death by push-ups challenge for them, especially since the Naval Academy changed their fitness test to be push-ups, plank instead of crunches, and a 1.5 mile run. So if you want to work 2 of the events of a fitness test that will be forthcoming, you definitely have to crank out some planks and push-ups throughout your training. Let's see. So many things in SEALs Recon. I think I already read that. What do you eat the night before a fitness test? Whew. I've written about that a few times. In fact, you fuel before fitness test. My recommendation is this. Don't do anything you don't already do. So for instance, this isn't your time to experiment with food before you go and do whatever training test you're going to do. This is not your day to experiment. Your day to experiment with what you should eat months before you take a fitness test, and you practice it and see what works for you. On days that you score really well, right? You should have notes of like how much you crushed a fitness test, right? On that day, and you had like one of the best workouts you ever had, from energy levels, hydration, everything. You just crushed it. PRs on 3 different events, whatever. Take a look when you have that day. Take a look at the previous 24 hours on what you did, and you may find a really good formula that works well for you. All right. That might be that you slept 8 hours the night before. You ate a really good meal with spaghetti and meatballs and garlic bread. I'm just throwing stuff out there that I like. And then you woke up in the morning, you had a banana and a little Gatorade, sip some Gatorade throughout your test just to have a little extra sugar, and you crush it. That's the day that you write all that stuff down that you did, and now you have a formula for success. That could very well be your answer to that question. So you should be testing those things out. Don't do what I do, because what I do may not work well for you, right? Don't go buy some, triathlon goo or sports drink, or definitely lay off the caffeine, because caffeine doesn't help you in these tests. Don't recommend it. In fact, some people overdo the caffeine and have actually died during fitness tests in the Navy. So that's a lot of coffee. Don't want to do that. You have a heart attack at 20 years old. You can Google it. It's horrible. So lay off the caffeine, keep your heart rate down, and just get in good shape for it through your training, and then write down those good days. Also write down the bad days. You know, when you have a really poor day of training, why? Look back in the last 24 hours and let's figure that out. Maybe it was sleep. Maybe it was hydration. Maybe it was electrolytes. Maybe it was heat, cold, whatever. You know, there's so many little factors that, you know, that determine your performance. And you can find those out if you practice. Sorry for the no answer there, but that's a good answer. When beginning training for Spec Ops, should I jump right into adding rucking to my weekly routine, or should I train a little to prepare for the rucks? Good question. I actually wrote an article on rucking progression, which you should check out. In fact, I type in rucking progression, rules of rucking. This kind of give you a good idea of what I recommend. It's a little bit conservative. I usually tell people if you don't run, don't start rucking. But some people ruck because they can't run, right? So it's either way. But if you're not planning on running, then you can start rucking. But my recommendation is build some durability in your legs through training, some weights. Yeah, you could put on a ruck and just walk with it and start learning how to build your durability for those type of events. But progress logically just like you would with mileage. You know, like do a 10 to 15% increase per week with mileage whenever you run. Like don't jump into running and do a 20-mile week out of nothing. Right? You should progress to 20 miles per week. Otherwise, you're going to be nursing shin splints and knee tendonitis, just like other people who are overly aggressive with their training right out the gate. So same for rucking. Maybe start off with 25 pounds and build up to 50 pounds over the course of a couple of months. Add some squats and deadlifts just to build some extra durability if you need it. If you're coming from a strength background, don't need it, I wouldn't worry about it. But eventually I would say build up to about 25% of your body weight. And if that's light, build up to at least 50 pounds over time. Don't do it from day one. So as with anything, progression is smart. What type of environment is good to train in for rucks when preparing for RASP? Good question. Dirt roads, for sure, but also some uneven terrain too. You know, get out on trails. Something we do is we train in 3 different environments. We train on a trail that is like a cross-country trail out in the woods, soft ground, you know, uneven terrain up and down. It's good stuff. Then we train on the beach with soft sand. That sucks. And then we train on, you know, grass trail, dirt road / paved trail along this long corridor. You get all 3. And then we find a hill, and that's all paved, and we run up and down the hill with a ruck too. So that is how I would do it. So mix it all up, and that way you're ready for everything. Because when you're going through RASP, you're going to wear a ruck everywhere you go. That'll be pavement, that'll be grass, that'll be dirt. Sometimes there's some sand out there, but mostly it's just going to be dirt roads, trails, woods, and just wear your boots, especially if it's uneven terrain. Don't wear sneakers because you need that extra ankle support if you're running trails. What does your typical hill day look like for your guys? I usually post this on Instagram every Monday or Tuesday. It looks like this. It takes us 2 and almost a half, about 2 and a quarter, maybe a little over a quarter, to get to our hill. So during that time, we will warm up with 100-meter jog, 1 squat, 100-meter jog, 2 squats, 100-meter jog, 3 squats, and we'll eat up about 1,000 yards and 55 squats as our warm up, and then we'll get out the next mile and a half pretty hard to get to the hill. Then we're at the hill, and the hill's a 1/4 mile hill up and down, pretty decent grade. Put it this way, it sucks to run it. There's no easy day at the hill. It's not a horrible hill, like, climbing a mountain, but it's a good hill. In fact, the cross country team, high school cross country team, runs this thing all the time. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me, and it's pretty challenging. In fact, we learned about it from a cross country kid who joined us. So we'll run anywhere between 5 and 10 of those. And every lap you do on that hill, every up and down, it adds a 1/2 mile to your run. So you can either add 2.5 miles or 5 miles to what is already a 5-mile run just to get to and back from the hill. Now, on the way back, we change it up a little bit and we add in some squats and lunges every 1/2 mile, but we hit those 1/2 miles pretty steady. Either at your goal pace or faster than goal pace. Sometimes we'll break it down into 400s. Sometimes we'll break it down into 200s. Just depends on the day. And we'll run a little faster with shorter runs, or we'll run a little oriented at our goal pace for longer runs. And we'll do that until we're back 2.5 miles. Then after that, we hit the pool and we swim with fins for a mile, so 2,000, sometimes 3,000 meters. So that is our Spec Ops leg day, I like to call it. And if you're going Army and you're in our group and don't need to swim, a lot of those guys will ruck the whole thing, or at least ruck down there, ruck half the hills with a backpack, and then trade off their ruck with another guy, and he can ruck it back. So there's a lot of different what ifs that we throw in there. Some people aren't ready for 10 hills, so they do 5. But we'll probably build up to 15 this summer, typically. So that's a good day run. It said that Buds is the hardest training, but it seems like Recon is. I don't know, Joe. Why don't you do both and tell me? Some people have no business making comments like that, Joe. You're just spreading rumors because you don't have a clue what either one of them's like. Can we do hard workout in summer seminar? Can you? Oh, sorry. Misread that. Can we do hard workout in summer season? Sure. I do hard workouts year round. Why can't you do them in the summer? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Savage. I'm thinking of getting weight vest for the advertised strength benefits. Any recommendations or type or percent body weight for a 58-year-old not going to Spec Ops? I'm with you, Tom. I wrote an article about weight vest review, and I think the one I liked the most, I think they went out of business, which kind of sucks. But there's a couple other ones that are pretty good. So I wrote this article on military.com, and I'll put it in the training or in the comment section. Best weight vests in the market. Weightvest.com is a good one. Can't go wrong there. If you want one, go to eBay. You might find a cheaper version. I found one from ZFO Sports that is a great one as well, under $100. Also got the 511 tack plate. That works pretty well. But the one I like, I also have is a Raptor weight vest, but I think the Raptor no longer exists. I got to find out, see what happened to them. But check it out. Joe, you didn't offend me. You just post up a lot of stuff that often makes no sense. I'm trying to explain to you some of the details of BUD/S and other schools, but yeah, I think Recon's pretty damn hard. Not saying it's harder or not. I don't know. Haven't been to it. So I can't tell you that. You can look at both of them and say, yeah, that's harder, but what's that do? So it has nothing to do with you offending me. It's just a lot of people make comments like that, and they are no foundation in understanding what either one of them are. So we're all on the same team. Who gives a crap? 27, trying to get back into shape and following spring summer training. It's a good one. I like that one. It's fun. I like that. I love calisthenics and cardio. I grew up a powerlifting football player, and I have had more fun with calisthenics and cardio in the last 20 years than I did 20 years of powerlifting. So one of those things. Who go figure. We all change with time, I guess. Been following a spring training program, but the volume's a little bit tough for me. Yeah. You know what I would recommend? Cutting the reps in half. You don't have to buy a new program. Just cut everything in half. Personalize it for you, because none of these programs are personalized training programs. I mean, they're set the way they are for a standard, and they progress with a decent progression, but they might already start off pretty advanced. So you may have to personalize it for your ability. So if it says, go up to 10 on a pyramid, maybe just go up to 6 and back down. Keep notes. Do it again. Next time you do it again, you may be able to get up to 8. All right, over time. So, however, I do have an easier version of that, and it is called Calisthenics and Cardio program. It has a beginner, intermediate, and advanced program in it. I think it's almost 20 weeks of training. I like this one. In fact, if you go to stewsmithfitness.com, it pops up on that first row of books, Calisthenics and Cardio, and it's very limited equipment needed for this. I'm talking, it is maybe some dumbbells. If you wanted to do some more, cardio options, swimming, biking, so there is some equipment that is needed if you want to get out, but you can always replace that with walking or, running. But yeah, check out the link I just put in there. I think it just popped up. Yeah, put this in here again. Yes, there's calisthenics and cardio. It's a good one. Let's see. From Special Service Group, SSG Pakistan was just kidding. Oh, no problem there, Savage. And Joe, I'm not picking on you. I'm just in a mood. I am human. Sometimes things hit me the wrong way sometimes. Hey, you know what? Let's change topic a little bit and let's share a video, and we will talk about some swimming. Why don't we do that? I do have new books coming out. I am actually creating Seasonal Tactical Fitness Periodization. That's going to be the title. And then underneath it will be spring. The next book series will be summer. Next book series will be fall. Next book series will be winter. So it's a 4-part series that breaks down, the whole year basically in a fairly intermediate level to advanced workout program. And it's just our training. So let's see what this guy's doing. He kicks off the wall, looks pretty streamlined here. I like that. So I go through a system whenever I look at these. First thing is kick off the wall. Is it streamlined? This is pretty good streamline. Guy's biceps on his ears, one hand on top of the other. Might be diving a little too deep, but that's not bad. Now, the difference is when he pulls. When he pulls those arms, not a really good breaststroke pullout. So you can definitely get a little better with this arm pull. Watch a couple of videos of breaststrokers when they kick off the wall and they grab water, pull it, and push it down. So they're pulling and pushing. And you're trying to do that. You're just not quite there yet. So you got to like reach over a barrel, grab some water, pull it, and push it behind you. So get in there. Could be a little better, but that's not bad. It obviously moved you though. So let's see what's going on here. So as you notice there, I just counted 12 seconds pretty much before you came up for a breath. That is almost impossible to sustain, especially in a 500-yard swim. And then when you come up for a breath, look what's happening. You are popping your whole head up out of the water and you lose all your forward momentum. You just took that momentum from going this way to this way, and you just pretty much stopped any horizontal movement when you do that. So now you got to recreate the momentum you just had from that long kickoff. And it was too long because you lost some momentum going into the stroke here. All these kicks right here, they need to go. So we got I don't know what that is. So this is supposed to be a glide, and you're kicking like you got a pair of fins on. If you had fins on, this would be good, except for that. What just happened there? See that breath? There's no reason you should be looking up at the ceiling and back here behind you whenever you come up to breath. That's over rotating. When you do that, your hips drop, your feet are down, and you're basically swimming diagonally when you do that. So you want to turn 90 degrees. Well, first of all, you want to kick off the wall, double arm pull. Then when you come back into that stroke, you're now ready to do an arm pull, turn to breathe, just like you're doing freestyle. Half your face should still be in the water right here. You're just turning like you're doing freestyle, not popping your whole head up to breathe like you're doing breaststroke. So turn to breathe, and then that bottom arm does not need to be the full sweeping arm pull that you have. Like notice this. See how big an arm pull that is? It goes all the way down to your pants. And then look at this recovery. This recovery is out of control. I mean, this is like swimming with the brakes on. Look at this. See that right there? See that arm out there like 6 inches away from your body? That is just like pushing yourself backwards. So that's 2 steps forward, 1 step back with every arm recovery. You got to keep that stuff tight. Keep it tight right here. So top arm, bottom arm. When both of your hands are down here, you should feel your hands slide up your body and recover. You got to take rid of those kicks. Now, see that right there? All right. So whenever your arm pulls, your face should be out of the water right here. And it should be getting ready to inhale. Instead, you're going to have to turn your head, bottom arm pull, and inhale all at the same time, which screws you up. It screws everybody up. So you want to turn and arm pull with the top arm, get your face out of the water right about here. And now all you have to do is bottom arm pull and inhale. But now, see, that was just awkward. Then you did this is, quite frankly, it's hard to watch. There's a lot to fix here. So my suggestion would be go to the TikTok page and watch some of the videos that I labeled as perfect and just compare. I mean, you have to see the difference. I mean, 1, this is really slow. 2, it's a lot of effort. All these kicks right here just tiring you out. Your head pops up. Every time your head pops up, you lose forward momentum. You're kind of gliding in the wrong positions. Yeah. Lot going wrong there, but hey, you can get better. All it takes is, a session like this, me telling you what you're doing wrong, and then you go fix it and you got it. Cool. Glad you like it. So we'll do another one of those too in a minute. Anybody have any other questions? Let me see here. If you don't have any questions, I'll show the other one as well. Other one is I can't remember if this is a good one or not. I'm hoping it's a good one. But what I will do is, this is one of my favorite things, is my TikTok page is nothing but swimming critiques, because the system is so perfect for what's a good word for it? It's just so perfect for voiceover critiques that it's ideal for me coaching swimming. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Can you see this? Yeah, there you go. So this is my TikTok page, and all I do is people send me videos, and I critique them, and I put them on this, and every now and then I'll post a picture of some guy swimming open water combat swimmer stroke, and it looks like, there's 3 ducks there. Now what the hell is this? That's a guy swimming. So there's a reason why we do combat swimmer stroke. But if there's a problem with combat swimmer stroke, it's been discussed on this page. Now here's one I labeled as perfect. Let's see what that means. So top arm, bottom arm, kick, hold the glide. There you go. Look at that. He's going to get across this pool in about 4, maybe 5 strokes. And yeah, there's some things he could be a little better at here, like probably be a little tighter on his recovery and his glide position here. But this is really good. It's pretty effortless, and it's a 50-second 50. I just try to get people to do 50 yards in 50 seconds and then get in shape to do that 10 more times, and you got yourself an 8:20 swim every single day. So that's a good swim there. So if you go to that TikTok page, you'll see a ton of helpful videos there. What kind of run is done in PJ? I don't know what their weekly timed run events are. I need to find that out. They have a pass test, or now it's called the initial fitness test, we discussed last week. And depending on the officer or the enlisted ranking, it's going to be 1.5 mile timed run or a 3 mile timed run for officers. But that's a good question. I'll find out exactly what their training pipeline requires. A lot of it is just normal conditioning runs, like 4 or 5 mile runs, in running shoes and silkies and Air Force t-shirt. But they spend a lot of time in the water too. So, but they ruck too. So they will ruck, run, and swim. What I call the Spec Ops Triathlon. So pretty much any Spec Ops job, just about, will do some form of running, rucking, and swimming. Some will be higher percentages than the other. Like there's not one. I would say maybe Recon would have a very good balance of maybe say a third, right, of those 3, whereas SEALs may have 50% running, 25% swimming, 25% rucking. Not even that. Maybe 30% swimming and 20% rucking. Could even be less. So everybody has kind of a different percentage of where they are on that spectrum, but it doesn't change the fact that you need to get good at all of them, no matter what job you're getting into. Army Special Forces, a lot less swimming, a lot more rucking and running. Army Rangers, a lot less swimming, a lot more rucking and running. 5 mile timed run, that's no joke. So I'm good to go, Doc. Funny name. I'm new to swimming. How should I start? Well, it depends. If you really suck at swimming, you can't get across a 25-yard pool, my recommendation is to take lessons. I'm not necessarily a good instructor for swimming for someone who's a beginner who can't get across the pool. There's some basic techniques of teaching that I'm not very good at. Once you can get across a pool and swim 25, 50 yards without stopping, I can apply the combat swimmer stroke to that, make your freestyle a little bit better. But, sometimes that beginner stage in the water is battling some issues with water. It might be battling, childhood near drowning experience. And those are some things that I'm not equipped to really get people through. But any lifeguard swimming instructor that you would have at a pool could at least teach you some of those basics, breaststroke and freestyle. They probably won't know what the combat swimmer stroke is. That's why I have so many videos on it, because it's just not well known out there in the swimming world. In fact, I'd probably say the biggest trolls over on TikTok are competitive swimmers, like saying, "What is this?" So basic swimming. My suggestion is work on, if you're trying to do a pull, breathe, kick, glide, combat swimmer stroke, there are 2 articles I want you to read. These are the most important articles to swimming, and I made it all in one article. In fact, it's titled 2 Most Important Article Videos to Watch to Learn the CSS. One of them has to do with streamlining, body position. The other has to do with the timing of the stroke, pull, breathe, kick, glide, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. That's another article too by itself. Watch those, practice it, have somebody film you, watch your videos, send them in. I can tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, and we can kind of go from there. But be patient with it, and you can definitely get to swimming really well very shortly. I remember probably one of my best swimming stories as a coach. I had this gentleman, played college football, stud, just on land, just a complete beast. And he swam across the pool. It was ugly. He got beat up. Looks like he was beating up the water all the way across the pool, but he got across and he was so excited. I'm like, "What is wrong? What happened?" He goes, "No, you don't understand. That's the first time I've ever swum across a swimming pool." I'm like, "Holy crap." Well, let's add some technique to that and some combat swimmer stroke. And eventually he came back, a few months later. He came from out of town, visited, showed him how to do the stroke. And he came back and was crushing it, was doing 500-yard swims in like 9:30. Pretty happy with his progress. Got him even closer to down to I don't know. I think we got him close to like 8:45, somewhere around there. He went to Buds, made it through Buds, and is now a SEAL. So you can get through SEAL training, and a year and a half after swimming your first length across the swimming pool, be a Bud student and make it through. I've seen it happen. Would you say AFSW, Air Force Special Warfare, has the same ratio of Recon or closer to SEALs? Closer to SEALs. They do a lot more swimming and pool skills. I would say they probably even hit pool skills harder than SEALs do. Because they do they do a test that I have done a few times, and it is really hard. It is a treading water while you buddy breathe through a snorkel with you and your buddy. And guess what? The instructors are dunking you. They're putting their hand on the snorkel. They are messing with you all the time. That is kind of like treading pool comp. Very hard test. So my hat's off to the Air Force PJs, because those dudes and whoever else in Air Force Special Warfare has to do that test, because that is a butt kicker. Let's see what we got here. Is most of swimming in Buds CSS, or is there other strokes. Not really any other strokes. In fact, to get 2 buds, you're going to swim the CSS without fins for 500 yards. To get through buds, you're going to swim 2 miles every week in open water with scuba fins to get through buds. So that's the difference. I'd say 99% of your swims at buds will be with fins. To get 2 buds, it's 500 without. You got to do an underwater swim without. Got to do some knot tying without, drown proofing without fins. But other than that, all your swims are with scuba fins. Then you'll be in dive phase. You're diving all the time with scuba fins. Yeah. Then in third phase, you'll be doing over the beach transits with scuba fins, and then go do land warfare stuff. So yeah, it's all with fins, pretty much. CSS with fins. Let's see. Any other questions? I think I have another CSS to bring up. Let's see. I think this one was today, and I can't remember if I've even critiqued it or not. So let's see what we got here. It looks like we got like a 49-second 50 here. So this might be a good one. Ooh, damn. Good kick off the wall, but whoa. What was that? Way too many dolphin kicks. See that? Do 1, don't do 5. That's not right. You don't need to. And this right here, yeah, don't even try to glide like this and then add dolphin kicks to it. That's just making you tired and starving for air by 10 seconds off the wall. Top arm, yeah. Okay, so all those dolphin kicks are just going to wear you out. That's not how you glide. You glide with no motion. See how it's still right there? That's how you glide. You glide with your feet together, behind, not moving, hands over your head. That's a good glide position. Only problem is you throw in a video and it's all these dolphin kicks, right? That's not gliding. That's dolphin kicking, and it will tire you out. And you know what? You don't need to start dolphin kicking that early off the wall. Just glide. I mean, you kicking off this wall will take you 5 to 8 yards without doing anything. Don't waste any energy on these kickoffs. These dolphin kicks right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, double arm pull, transitions into the stroke. That was a good transition, though. You didn't lose any momentum. But I don't know what this is. Top arm, bottom arm, kick, and then dolphin kick, dolphin kick, dolphin kick. Yeah, stop. Stop. Stop the dolphin kicks. I don't know where you're picking that up. Not watching my videos. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't see the video? Damn. Sorry. Not sure what happened there. Share the screen. Let me see what's going on here. I just lost it. You guys got to see this because it's way too many dolphin kicks. Thought I had it on the screen here. All right, so let me know if you can see this. All right, you should be able to see that, right? Just give me a thumbs up. Sorry about that. All right, so as I'm not going to repeat this one, obviously, picture's worth 1,000 words. I just mentioned he does way too many dolphin kicks. So let's break it down. So we got a top arm, bottom arm inhale, kick and glide. You're supposed to be gliding here. All these dolphin kicks are just tiring you out. So by counting dolphin kicks here, I know I've counted at least 13 already. I don't know what that 4, 5, 6, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that's way too many dolphin kicks. And that's just one lap. You multiply that by 10 laps, you got yourself 200 dolphin kicks you're doing. That's just a waste of energy. You know what that's going to mess up? That's going to mess up your run because of the hip flexor exhaustion and your sit-ups because of the core ab exhaustion that you're just doing. Flutter kicks do the same thing, but those dolphin kicks are really hard on your hips and your abs. I mean, they're great for working your hips and abs, but you don't want to do that during the swim when you got push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups and a run to do right afterwards. that will be greatly affected by the amount of energy you just wasted in the pool. So the rule to this swim is conservation of energy. You want to try to conserve energy, be as efficient as you can, but still be able to fast enough that you can crush those times that you need to reach to be competitive. So there you go. That makes sense. He was fast, but I guarantee you he wouldn't be able to maintain that for 10 more laps. So are there things you would change to the Complete Guide to Navy SEAL Fitness? You know what? I wrote the Navy SEAL Fitness book over 20 years ago. I would definitely change things. I have evolved, definitely. But I'm not saying that those things don't work either. I like those workouts in there. I'd say I'd like the pyramids. I like the run, swim, runs. The supersets are pretty good. I would probably arrange them a little differently to maintaining maintaining movement instead of resting too much. Sometimes I do like 2 sets of 7 on pull-ups, and I would rather do like repeat 2 times, pull-ups, push-ups, abs. So you're kind of doing some active resting in that series. I would add probably push press to the pyramids as well, or maybe take out some of the dips and replace them with push presses, just over the head stuff. And rucking. Back then they didn't do a lot of rucking at Buds. I'd say they added rucking at about 2008 to first phase and second phase as an event. Back then we didn't ruck until third phase, and by then it didn't really matter. You were such good shape by third phase that putting on a ruck was just nothing challenging. Still hard. Just it didn't matter. You were third phase. You saw the light at the end of the tunnel. A couple more weeks, you were graduating. But yeah, I would say rucking. Maybe instead of some of those runs from runs that I had in Complete Guide Navy SEAL Fitness, I would change it to run swim rucks. I'd still keep the pyramids in there, supersets in there. Those are very useful for building volume progressively. Leg PT days are great in there. Hypoxic swims are fun. I'd probably add in the 50-50 workout instead of hypoxic swim freestyle and then follow it up with CSS. Basically what I did is just mix those together. So now you can do like a hypoxic freestyle 50 followed by a 50 CSS, right? You make it 100 if you want. Just minor changes over the years. And then, later on, I created the weightlifting cycle, kind of like part 2 to that. So that's all calisthenics and cardio. So I would call Complete Guide to Navy SEAL Fitness my spring summer model, right? And then you would do a winter kind of lift model. You'd maintain your calisthenics and cardio, but you'd add some lifts to it in the winter, because it's only 12 weeks long. So it's do it twice, spring and summer, then do a fall winter lift cycle. That's how I would do it. And that's basically what the model of seasonal tactical fitness periodization is. It is each season has their element of fitness that we focus on. Spring and summer, we focus more on cardiovascular endurance and muscle stamina, with high rep calisthenics volume increasing and mileage of running, swimming, rucking increasing. And then in the fall and winter, decrease some of that, maintain it, but we decrease it, and we focus more on strength, power, and some shorter, faster runs. Work on some speed and some agility as well. Yeah, I would add treading in there as well. Definitely, more maybe like I do now on my mobility days. I add the drown proofing events after mobility day. So I would add a mobility day in there too, now that I think about it. So mobility days have been life-saving. Not only for me as an old guy, but even my young guys do really well with a midweek mobility day. And it just gets them in a good body position, body awareness of after we do this hour mobility cardio workout, non-impact cardio workout, we go to the pool. They're just so much better at treading water because they're now more agile, more mobile to be able to actually hit some of those weird kicks and be a little more powerful with their egg beaters or breaststrokes and scissor kicks even. So yeah. So yeah, I would still say there's really no one program that answers it all. It's a series of programs. When you're talking about a year's worth of workouts to really answer it all, you have to be patient and go through the training if you want to hit all the elements of fitness. We're talking strength, power, speed, agility, muscle stamina, endurance in 3 events: run, swim, ruck, flexibility, mobility, and grip. All of those are very important to the tactical athlete. So, shallow water blackout warning. Yeah, that's in there. Always do that. But I don't do a lot of underwater swimming. Even the hypoxic swimming is freestyle, and it's just skip breathing. But yeah, there's a shallow water blackout warning in that book. Don't do it alone. All that stuff. Yep. So there you go. All right, guys. Wow, I've been at this for an hour. Did not expect that. Sorry for the little technical difficulty with that swim video. Not sure what happened there, but that's probably human error for sure. If I missed your questions, just send them to me. You can send them to me by email, stu@stewsmith.com. You can DM me as well. Comment on this video once it posts if you want to do that. You can also go to Stu Smith Fitness, save $20. Use this coupon code. See it right there, COMPETE20. Special savings using that coupon code COMPETE20. Save 20%. So, and of course, you really want to figure out the CSS, go to TikTok. My TikTok page is nothing but CSS stuff, and that should help you move in the right direction with your training and practice. All right. So I'm done, and I will chat with you guys later. Tom, I will get to this. Actually, you know what? Before I go, Tom, you asked this question earlier that I missed. Oh, no, I did. Yeah. I'd say 25 to 40 pound weight vest, Tom. I realize I missed that question. All right, we're done. Have a good one, guys. Until next time, if you got questions, send them to me. If you have videos you want me to critique, send them to me as well. And I will chat with you later.